Losing a parent is difficult enough, but dealing with incomplete legal records in the aftermath adds an entirely different kind of stress. Often, families realize too late that a parent's name was never officially added to a child's birth certificate. There is a common assumption that a death certificate acts like a magic pass to fix this. The logic seems straightforward. Prove the parent has passed away, hand the document over to the registry, and they will simply update the birth record. But if you take that approach, you are going to hit a major administrative brick wall. Walking into the National Identification and Registration Authority, or NIRA, with just a death certificate will almost certainly result in a rejected application. Whether you can resolve this easily or not depends entirely on one specific detail: which parent has died. The registry operates under two completely different sets of legal rules. Understanding the difference between the path for a deceased mother and the path for a deceased father is the only way to get a birth certificate updated without wasting time and money. To see how NIRA handles these cases, we have to look at their legal framework. This flowchart shows the two distinct paths available when a parent passes away. Step 1 is identifying exactly which of these two paths applies to your situation, because the required paperwork for each side is completely different. If you guess or pursue the wrong path based on assumptions, the NIRA office will reject the application. Let's start with the left side of the chart, updating the record when the mother has passed away. In this scenario, NIRA treats the update as a standard administrative procedure. The process can be resolved directly at their registry offices using their standard forms. The living father simply completes a 3-page status form. He then signs this form in the presence of a justice of the peace to legally swear to his paternity. The final step is attaching the mother's official death certificate or a burial order directly to that application. Because the father is physically present to swear an oath and claim paternity, this family bypasses court and submits their paperwork straight to NIRA. Now let's look at the other side of the chart. This is where families get stuck. The scenario where the father has passed away. The legal hurdle is straightforward. A deceased man cannot sign a sworn statement or take an oath to acknowledge his paternity. Without that sworn consent from the father himself, NIRA's hands are tied. They will strictly reject administrative status forms, even if you bring a death certificate. This rejection isn't a dead end for your family. It is simply the legal trigger that moves you off the standard administrative path and requires you to take the judicial path. The solution for this scenario requires applying for a declaration of paternity through the Family Court or Supreme Court under the Status of Children's Act. The court process focuses on the collection and review of family documentation, making it a procedural step rather than a confrontational trial. The main requirement is collecting affidavit statements. You will need sworn documents from paternal family members who can confirm that the father openly acknowledged the child during his lifetime. If affidavits aren't enough, or family members are unavailable, you have an alternative option, presenting DNA evidence from paternal relatives to establish the biological link. Once the judge reviews the evidence and grants the declaration of paternity, you receive an official court order. You then take that specific document directly to NIRA. That judge's order legally replaces the deceased father's signature. It gives the registry the exact mandatory authorization they need to finally update the birth certificate. If both of a child's parents are alive right now, this is your cue to act. Completing a 3-page form today takes a fraction of the time and costs a fraction of the money compared to navigating the court system later. But if your father has already passed away, do not let the judicial requirements discourage you. The court process exists precisely to protect you. Navigating this legal path is the recognized way to secure a child's inheritance, ensure their land rights, and cement their place in the family lineage. You also don't have to manage this alone. If the required legal legwork, registry tracking, and court documentation feel overwhelming, professional proxy services can step in to handle the details on the ground. Sorting your family records is a vital act that honors your history and secures your legacy.